WordPress child themes. Theming in WordPress is where you can take a template of design and layout and structure and apply it to your website data. The posts and pages you have will change. The look and feel of the website will immediately change. There are all kinds of themes. There are themes that are free that come with WordPress. We can see them now on the screen. There are also themes that you can buy online from places like Envato Marketplace and Theme Forest. Professional themes that have been put together by teams of developers and designers and are then sold to the mass market so people can quickly put together professional websites. If you want to do theme customization, you can use different kinds of themes, whether it's the free ones we see on the screen now or the ones that you may find online for free or pay money for. However, when learning theming, it's probably best to use one of the original WordPress theme templates and start to work with customization, whether it's through the CSS in the Customize menu or, more importantly, through child themes, which is what we will do now. If you want to create a child theme, it's more or less based around this little bit of commented CSS code here. This is provided by the WordPress organization, and you will need to place this comment code at the top of a CSS file that you create in an editor like Sublime or Atom or Notepad. You will then need to save this file into your WordPress directory structure, which we're going to do. This bit of comment code for the CSS file, which will become your main CSS customization file, needs to have this specific chunk of code in order for WordPress to pick it up as a child theme. You need to have a theme name, a theme URL description, theme author, theme URL, template, version, text domain. Now you can see with this code, I've named it accordingly because we're going to be creating a child theme for 2019. The child theme will allow us to customize. Okay, so we're going to save this file into the WordPress folder structure. I'm just going to click on Save As. Now you can see here, my WordPress website lives in htdocs within XAMPP, MAMP, or WAMP. If I go into WordPress, I then go into WP-content, I then go into themes, and then we can see we've got a few folders for containing themes. I'll just delete this one so we can go through the process from the top. In order to have a child theme, we're going to create a folder. I'm going to go New Folder. I'm going to give it the same name as its parent theme. So my child is of 2019. I'm going to go 2019 hyphen child theme. So now we have a folder inside the right directory using hyphens and lowercase that's ready to take our child theme files. This is all for setting up a child theme. It's more or less a two-step file process. So if we go inside of here, the first file I'm going to save, this style.css file, is going to be in this directory. So I'll just type in style and I'll save that. Because I got the CSS down here, you can also type it in if you want. I think it'll be fine for most operating systems. And now I've saved this in the correct directory. So that's the first step. The second file that we need to make is what's known as a functions.php file. Now this code will be made available for you, and you can get it from the WordPress org website. It's just a small chunk of PHP code. You don't have to understand what it all means and is exactly doing, but it's needed for child theming. You need the style CSS and the functions.php file. It more or less tells the parent theme and WordPress itself that we now have a child theme connected and you need to look at this directory and this file for your CSS. That's what this code is instructing. I'll just go File, Save As, and I'm going to do the same thing again where I go into the themes and my child theme folder, and I'm going to save this as functions.php, and I'm going to save it here. Now you'll notice that the name of the CSS, style.css, is the same name as this CSS file which we just saved. If I go back to the WordPress dashboard, and if we give it a reload, you'll see now that we have 2019 child theme available to be selected. Just to reiterate, in order to get to this step, you need to create two files, a style.css file with this comment code and a functions.php file which is saved into the same directory as your style.css, which is a directory we created specifically for child themes. There are the two files there. That's most of the hard work done. Then you can come along to WordPress and you can select the child theme and activate it. Now, if you were previously using the parent theme, whether it be 2017, 2019, or another theme of your choice, if you've based the child theme on the parent theme, and we've done that by using this data here, which says what the parent is and what the child is, WordPress knows now that this is related to the parent theme of 2019. And you can see that in that line of code there. And what that means is, if I was to look at my website after connecting the child theme, nothing will change. It still looks like 2019. It's just leaning on the 2019 template now, and it gives us the ability to customize in a much better way. If you want to customize, you just go to the Customize menu underneath Appearance. You then click on Additional CSS, and you can do all of your customization from within this panel. If I right click and inspect on blog post, we can see that it has entry title A. I'm just going to copy that code, the CSS on the right hand side, and I'm going to paste that into here. Instead of color inherit, what I'll do is I'll change this to color red. And you can see immediately we get a CSS change. Let's do something a little bit more drastic with CSS. I'm going to right click on the navigation, inspect. Here's our navigation right down to the A tag. If we go up through the list, unordered list, span, all the way up, right to this thing here. I want the nav. So I've got nav ID site navigation and class main navigation. What I can do is go over to the CSS panel and I can type in, because it's a class, .main navigation, and then I can apply something that will show up like a background color, and I'll make the background color black. Let's publish. We won't even need to. We can see that it's being picked up here. Let's add a few other CSS aspects to our nav. You can see already, now that we can take control of the child theme CSS here, we can drastically start to make CSS changes to your theme. With just a few lines of CSS, I can take the nav, move it around wherever I want to. If we go to a new tab, you can see that this has affected the whole site and now the navigation has changed. So child theming is kind of similar to editing the style CSS like we did previously. The difference is now we have the safety of using a child theme. And what that means is when we update things like CSS and in some cases a little bit more additional PHP or even adding JavaScript, we're using a child theme, which means the original will stay intact. The child theme is like a protective layer that you can go and drastically change visually with CSS adjustments and slight additional code that still keeps your main theme intact in case you need to run updates. Child theming is very important if you want to customize a WordPress site, and it allows you to use a style sheet now in order to create and make changes visually to the website theme that you're using in WordPress.